Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us here today on the Game On Sports Network. Once again, my name is Isaac Estrada, and I have the opportunity again to be your play-by-play and color man for tonight's game. I am joined by my partner in crime, camera operator of Game On Sports, the one and only Cookie Hawkins, and today we have a great one on hand as we get to watch the Highland Park girls varsity lacrosse team take on Ursuline. Here in 30 seconds away from starting this one off, so we get to enjoy the beautiful skyline of Dallas while we wait as these young ladies get ready to hit the field. Got a bit of a crowd going here tonight as well. Should be an awesome one on hand. If I'm not mistaken, they walked out with a very narrow 9-7 win. Tight contest. That was when you guys saw me on Tuesday afternoon when the wind was heavy and not in my favor. We had a few malfunctions with the camera, but we were able to make it work and we were able to bring you guys a great game. Hoping to do the same here tonight. This time we have the honor of having a lovely booth here in Highland Park, so wind should not be an issue this time around. These young ladies getting all hyped up to play this afternoon. Hear that clock hit 0. Hear these young ladies starting to huddle up one last time before they hit the field. Highland Park, all lined up, looks ready to rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Rainy Outfield at Highland Stadium for tonight's game between the Ursuline Bears and the Highland Park Scots. Scots are coming off a hard-fought 8-7 win over Flower Mound on Tuesday night.
Looks like I was wrong. It was not 9-7, 8-7 in their last win on Tuesday night. These young ladies huddle up one more time before they hit field in the Highlander Stadium. So Highland Park side now finally beginning to hit the field. So here we go. Now both teams making their way onto the field. 12-minute quarters here on a cloudy Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us here again on Game On Sports Network.
Starting goal for Scots, our stalwart goalie, Dave Dogberg.
Duval looks like she's going to meet in the center. Not sure who's going to meet her there. Number 3 of Ursuline. Anna Dealey Danza meeting her in the center.
At the draw for Scots, Bill Duval for Ursuline. And a David Danza.
So here we go, whistle blown, that one is up, and we are underway now. And it looks like Ursuline is going to start off with the ball here. Marching their way past the 40 in enemy territory now. That's Olivia Tomaselli. Looking for somewhere to put that. Number 48, Faye Doggenberg. Nice job of saving that one, and now they're marching their way back up. Of number 20, Raleigh Henry. We know she loves to play from the left side. Playing from behind the goal on the left side. She loves to swing around and take those shots or make a nice pass. Looks like that's what instead she's going to decide to pass that one back into the hands of Gray. Now Kate Peters with the ball in her hand. She had a very nice game on Tuesday night. Had a few goals, really helped her team onto that 8-7 win. As Kate Peters passes that, looks like it might be taken away by Ursuline, and it will be. Still juggled around. Still rolling as they make a pass, and that's a nice job right there by Kate Peters taking that away. That one dribbles around after a bit of a high one right there. Ursuline's goalie juggles it around. Will get possession here. And tosses that one around to number 11 of Ursuline, Griffin McClouchin. Rolling. Lucy Bard really wanted possession of that one, and she's able to do a nice job of get a hold of it, as we are now about 10 minutes in. First quarter of play still remaining. Double team. She marches that one. Nice job right there by Ursuline on the double team to possibly take advantage. Now before Raleigh Henry can get her hands back on it. Nice hustle play right there by Henry. Marching away on the left side behind the goal. Passing it back. Whistle is blown.
Great position for Harper Gray.
You say Harper Gray is going to get an opportunity here to get her team on the board first. Whistle's blown. Harper Gray marches her way back up. That one bounces around to the outside. Nice job right there by Ursuline's goalie as that one marches out, and I believe that'll be Ursuline ball as well. Really nice job right there by Ursuline. Harper Gray is usually money from that kind of position. Nice job by the goalie. So now Ursuline marching the other way. That one gets juggled around a little bit. They get their own recovery. High pass right there. Let's see who can take advantage of it. Looks like it will be Highland Park. It is. No matter what minute of the game it is, Highland Park, we know they love to play at their kind of pace, that kind of never say die attitude they like to play with, even when it's a tie game like this early. Whistle is blown after a bit of a bump right there. Will be Highland Park ball as they pass that one into the hands of number 2, Harper Gray. Els Gray passing it back and forth now into the hands of number 20, Raleigh Henry. Henry marching around. Is she going to take that shot that she loves? She will, and it's going to work out for her. Nice shot right there by number 20, Raleigh Henry. Get Highland Park on the board for the first time this afternoon. We know that's her favorite kind of position to take those shots in. Behind the goal, marching around the outside, takes her shot. Even if she's double teamed, she can still do a nice job of taking a pass right there. She decides to take it herself. Get Highland Park on the board for the first time this afternoon. 7 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter still.
Again, the draw, number 23.
Duval meets back in the center with Anna Dealey Danza.
23, number 3, Anna Dealey Danza for Ursuline.
We go with these two young ladies meeting in the center once more. Whistle's blown. That one fires in the air. Nice job right there by Highland Park getting possession. Mills Duval with a nice snag on that one. They play from behind their goal once more. I believe for Raleigh, that's on the right side for her. She's getting pressured hard right there by Ursuline, and ball slips loose, not before the whistle is called. Highland Park will retain possession here. Let's see if Henry make this a 2-zip lead. Whistle's blown. She's going to decide to take a few steps back. Some tight defense right there by Ursuline. Nice job right there. And this is what Highland Park thrives at so much, is even when they do make these misses, they very quickly to get possession back and give themselves more and more opportunities. They're always there at the right time, and we see it again. Margot McKinney on the miss right there. Right next to her, Hayden Gray able to get the possession back for them. And now Kate Peters right up the middle. Highland Park still has possession. They pass that one behind the goal now. Raleigh Henry. Now, and they sniff that one out from a deep end. She passes that one out to Mills Duval. Duval now marching up the center. Let's see if she's going to take her shot. She will. Nice shot right there by number 23, Mills Duval. Make this a 2-zip lead now for Highland Park.
Mills Duval for the shots.
So Highland Park, 6 minutes, 31 seconds still in the first quarter. Take a 2-zip lead. We know they don't shy away from fast points in a hurry.
First quarter, Scots 2, Bears 0.
Still meet back in the middle now is Duval. And once again, Anna Dealey Danza meeting her in the center. So we saw last time Highland Park in their win had 2 points to start us off in the first quarter, but they really struggled in the second and third to get on the board, but in the fourth they came back. We know this one they would love to just keep it hot, keep that momentum rolling, keep the points coming, as that one's going to dribble around. Ooh, going to be real close on that one. They will call that Highland. Ooh, they said Highland Park, now they're saying Ursuline. And now Ursuline with possession here. Whistle blown once more. Still say that's Ursuline ball, however. So Danza now. Looks like she was triple team, still has possession. Nice job right there, wiggling that one out. Still going, and nice job right there. Kate Peters knocks that one out of the hands of Danza, and she's able to take possession now for Highland Park. She's tightly guarded. They'll still say that's Highland Park ball. So Peters decides to pass that one deep downfield to Margot McKinney. And now McKinney marching away center field. Passes that one back into the hands of Mills Duval. Over midway through our first quarter here. Thank you again for joining us here today on Game On Sports Network. Hayden Gray marching around still. Many defenders in her face. She's going to decide to take a step back instead. Whistle is blown. So it looks like Hayden Gray is going to have an opportunity here. Make this a 3-zip lead. Let's see if she's going to want to take her shot or pass that one. Way her stance is makes me think she's going to fire a bullet here. It's what she decides to do, and it works out in her favor. Nice shot right there by number 7, Hayden Gray of Highland Park. Make this a 3-zip lead now. 5 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter here on Game On Sports Network. Really good job thus far by Highland Park, playing fast-paced. They really turn these first quarters like they're shootouts, like they're down by 10, but that's the way they want to play, and it's always worked out in their favor from what it seems like. Works out again right here. So now number 19 for Ursuline meeting in the center. That's Ellison Lamont meeting with Mills Duval, who already has 1 goal to her name here in the first quarter of play. Whistle's blown. That one flies in the air. Easily recovered right there by Highland Park. And number 2 of Highland Park, Harper Gray, marching the other way now. She's got some steam on her. She passes that one into the hands of number 1, Margot McKinney. That one juggles around a little bit. Kate Peters does a nice job of getting possession back for her team. They still will say that is Highland Park possession here. Here we go. Whistle blown. Highland Park now back in play. Kate Peters decides she wants to pass that one back into the hands of Margot McKinney. Whistle blown once more. So here we go. Looks like Kate Peters now is going to have an opportunity. Number 2, Harper Gray, with her mitt open like she was going to throw it to her. Instead, she decides to throw it to Margot McKinney. Now playing from behind the goals. Who else but number 20, Raleigh Henry? She's marching around to see if she wants to take that shot. Instead, she decides to pass that one back into the hands of Audrey Ells. 4 minutes now remaining in your first quarter as Kate Peters takes a shot. Nice block right there by Ursuline. And that's what they like to do, is get possession back even after the miss. That's exactly what happens as Margot McKinney does a good job of getting them possession back. Pass back behind the goal now. Gray takes her shot and puts it through. Number 7, Hayden Gray, on her second goal of the day for Highland Park. Makes this a 4-zip lead now for Highland Park.
Her second goal of the game.
If you're Ursuline, you're not looking at blowout material quite yet, but you're in the first quarter, already down by 4. Gotta regroup a little bit here, get some momentum going. Highland Park, despite a handful of misses, they do a really good job of getting that ball back into their hands, back in their possession, giving themselves multiple opportunities to score. Seen them do it in multiple games. I think that's what Ursuline has to try to do a lot better at, even whenever Highland Park misses. Try to get possession of that ball. Try to put that ball in your hands. When they miss, make them pay for it. See what they can do here as Duvall's meets back in the center now for Highland Park. Can't see who's meeting her in the center on this angle. Whistle's blown. That one flies into the air. It's number 3, Danza, is going to be the one that meets her in the center. And nice job right there by Ursuline getting possession. Now in enemy territory, tightly guarded by Kate Peters. Danza still marching. Playing from behind the goal now. Highland Park's defense close to their own territory is so good. And we see it again right there as that ball juggles free. Not before the whistle is blown. Still going to say that's Ursuline ball. Looks like they're going to have an opportunity to get on the board for the first time in this game right here. It's number 3, Anna Daly Danza, with an opportunity now. Whistle's blown. She decides to pass that one back. Hard whistle blown that time. Let's see what this is on. Referee trying to scoot a few players back to the end zone area. We're going to redo this again. So Danza now decides she maybe wants to take her own shot here. Ooh, gets squished up in the middle. And we will go again. Hopefully third time is the charm here. So she passed it back one time she tried to take it herself. Let's see what she does on the third try here. Whistle's blown. She decides she wants to march around the right side. Passes that one back into the hands of number 4, Mia C. That one juggles around though. They do a nice job of getting possession back. 2 minutes now in your first quarter of play here on Game On Sports Network as that one is taken away. Nice job right there by number 85, Lucy Bard. Now coming the other way is Highland Park. Duval now. Looks like she was triple teamed on that one, not before she passes it to Kate Peters, excuse me. And now Peters juggles that one around. Whistle is blown. I believe she lost possession, but they will still call that Highland Park ball. Here we go. Kate Peters possibly make this a 5-zip lead now in the first quarter. Whistle's blown. She decides she wants to pass that one into the hands of Margot McKinney. Here we go. Raleigh Henry spins that one back around. Now back to Raleigh Henry. Raleigh Henry decides where she wants to put that. Whistle blown once more. Clock ticking down now, under a minute in the quarter. We know how Highland Park likes to play this in the last minute. They play ride or die situation. See if they can get on the board one more time. They pass that one back into the hands of Els. Now Duval. Playing a little over the middles here is Kate Peters. Marching around the other side, takes her shot. Bounces around. They do get possession right back though. And now Hayden Gray with her third make of the day. Nice shot right there.
Hayden Gray.
Number 7, Hayden Gray has her third score of the game here just in the first quarter alone. We know Highland Park, towards the end of each quarter, it looks like in that last minute of each quarter, they love to play fast pace, try to get an extra score in before that clock winds down, and they do it again. Hayden Gray with their third goal of the game. Looks like the MVP thus far for Highland Park. Still 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. Thank you again for joining us here today on Game On Sports Network. Looks like it's going to be Duval and Danza meeting in the center once more. So here we go. Referee setting them up nicely. Whistle blown. That one flies in the air. Nice job right there by Danza getting possession back. Let's see if they can get on the board for the first time here. 20 seconds left. They got to move. Danza marching downfield with their hair on fire. Takes her shot and puts it through. Nice shot right there by number 3, Anna Dealey Danza. Gets Ursuline on the board for the first time this afternoon in a much-needed situation. So Ursuline, looks like at the end of this first quarter, they can hold their head a little higher now, getting on the board for the first time this afternoon. And Danza on that one. Right off the bat, she just took possession and marched it down herself. One-man operation on that one, and they get it done. Just 7 seconds winded off the clock on that possession, and Duval and Danza to meet back in the center. So here we go. Whistle blows. That one flies in the air, juggles around. This time Duval's not going to let it happen as it juggles around. Clock still rolling. And Duval now passes it into, juggles it. Now she's going to pass it into the hands of Gray. Just 5 seconds on the clock now. Let's see if they want a last-minute shot. It looks like Gray passes it to Kate Peters. 1 second left, and that is how this first quarter will end. So Highland Park with the very dominant lead thus far after one quarter. Highland Park leads 5-1 over Ursuline. We'll take it right with them, bring you back a second quarter of play here on the Game On Sports Network. Be back in just a few moments.
In the first quarter, Katie Gray had 3 goals. Wills Duval had 1 goal. Raleigh Henry had a goal and assist. And for Ursuline, and Amelia Danza had a goal.
And we are back to bring you another quarter of play here on Game On Sports Network. My name is Isaac Estrada. I have the opportunity tonight to be your play-by-play and color man. And so far, we have a bit of a lopsided game. Still plenty of time to get back in this one, though. Highland Park has a 5-1 lead over Ursuline. Start us off in the second quarter as these young ladies taking just a few more moments before they hit the field. We saw Hayden Gray have a master class in the first quarter. She had 3 goals, but towards the end of that first quarter, in the last minute, actually in the last about 27 seconds, Ursuline was finally able to get on the board with a nice shot by Anna Dealey Danza. Make this a more manageable game at 5-1, but at least they don't see that egg on the board at the end of the first. They get 1 on the board. Still march their way back in this one. Still 3 quarters to play, but Danza did really good on that last drive, just easily getting possession, taking the ball in her hands, and not leaving any room for error. And I feel like what Highland Park is able to capitalize on a lot is even when they miss, they're able to get the ball back. Even when they make errors, they're able to quickly correct them, quickly bounce back. And seeing that happen in mid-game is really something special. So as these young ladies begin to hit the field, we get to bring you another quarter of play here on Game On Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. Looks like Danza is going to meet back in the center for Ursuline. See if Duvals meets her there. Looks like she will.
Taking the draw again will be Bills Duval for the Scots, and the Danza for Ursuline.
So here we go. These two young ladies meeting in the center, referee lining them up. Whistle's blown, and this one flies into the air, juggles around a little bit, and nice job right there by Kate Peters of getting possession for Highland Park. Looks like Ursuline really wanted that one, but nice job of Kate Peters of cleaning that one up, giving them position to start this quarter off. Now Gray behind the goal, passes that one into the hands of Raleigh Henry. Henry passes that one to Margot McKinney, a little high right there, and Ursuline able to take advantage right there. Danza now with possession in her hands. She is swarmed by a group of Highland Park players. That one gets dropped but picked up. Ursuline still with possession in their hands. And once again, a swarm of Highland Park players all over Ursuline. And they'll call that Highland Park ball. Oh, and that one a little high again on the pass. And once more, Ursuline looks like they want to take advantage. See who has it. They'll call that Highland Park ball regardless. So this will still be Highland Park ball. Just a minute has run by in our second quarter. Kate Peters passes that one into the hands of Margot McKinney. McKinney bounces around the left side, passes that one to Kate Peters. Kate Peters puts it through for her first goal of the game. So Highland Park makes this a 6-1 lead. Nice shot right there by Kate Peters.
Margot
McKinney, very nice pass on that one to set Kate Peters up right over the middle, that spot where they like to go to. So about a minute and 15 has run by in this first quarter, and Highland Park able to capitalize. We saw Ursuline have possession 2 times thus far, but both times looks like a swarm of Highland Park players, and that whoever had the ball pushed that one out real quickly. And on both of those, it was Highland Park's ball. They gave up possession to Ursuline, but were able to easily take it back, and that's what we talk about. Even when Highland Park makes mistakes, they're able to right their wrongs very quickly. That's what has them a 6-1 lead here in the second quarter. So these two young ladies meeting back in the center now. Duval, Danza. Whistle's blown. That one flies into the air, juggles around a little bit. And it looks like Ursuline will have possession to start us off here. Into the hands of number 5, Gianna Gil-Ima. And that one gets dropped around. And it looks like Duval is going to have possession now for Highland Park, so they're bringing it the other way. She gets met by a lot of Ursuline players. They'll still call that Highland Park ball, however. So Duval passes that one over the middle into the hands of number 24. That one gets loose. Say they hit the shoulder area, and I believe they'll still give that one to Highland Park, if I'm not mistaken. They will. So here we go. Gray now with the ball in her hands. Taking her time now here. To Raleigh Henry. Henry marches around to the outside, quickly guarded. She's guarded tightly. Let's see if it matters, and it looks like a swarm of Ursuline players. The moment Henry took that turn around the corner, a swarm of players met her. Looks like they know exactly what she wanted. Looks like she will still have possession here with an opportunity. Make this a 7-1 lead with a goal right here. Highland Park would love that here. Whistle's blown. She marches her way up, takes her shot, and puts it through. Nice shot right there by number 20, Raleigh Henry. Makes Highland Park have a 7-1 lead now here in the second quarter. Timeout taken And we'll take it right with them. Bring you back a nice little over second half of a second quarter after this here on Game On Sports.
Be sure to stick around for the JV game after this game. And the Scots return to action here at Varsity next Wednesday, April 9th, against Southland. Varsity at 6 o'clock, followed by the JV at 7:30.
We are back here in the last moments of the timeout here in the second quarter. Looks like Highland Park is ready to break out. They also look like they're in very commanding lead here as they hold a 7-1 lead over Ursuline Bears. So now Bears break out of their huddle. Very dominant game so far here for Highland Park. Seen Hayden Gray have a handful of goals. See Raleigh Henry just get one just before the timeout. Kate Peters met them with one earlier. See what the rest of the second quarter holds for us. 8 minutes, 59 seconds remaining here. Second quarter of play. Danza, Duval meeting in the center once more. Ball flies in the air, juggles around, quickly recovered right there by Kate Peters. So here we go. Highland Park still wants to play this fast pace regardless of the lead. Raleigh Henry passes that one back. Marching over the middle is Kate Peters. Peters swings over the middle. So here we go, marching over the middle. Ooh, whistle is blown. Looks like Duval now is going to have an opportunity to make this a 8-1 lead. Let's see if she decides to take it up the middle or pass it backwards.
Free position for Mills Duval.
Free position here. Whistle's blown. She's going to take her own shot. She will. Nice block right there by Ursuline's goalie, however. And after 7 goals allowed here in the first quarter and a half, Ursuline's goalie does a good job blocking that one, but Kate Peters of Highland Park gets possession right back for her girls. Henry over the middle now, takes her shot and puts it through. Raleigh Henry on her second goal of the day. Make this a 8-1 lead now for Highland Park. Highland Park in commanding control here in the second quarter. 7.5 minutes remaining. I think this one is really just going to depend if Ursuline can get rolling offensively. It seems like every single time they have the ball, Highland Park does a good job of swarming them and taking it away. Here we go. Meet back in the center. Duval, Danza. Whistle's blown. That one trips around before it is picked up by, they'll give it to Highland Park. So I believe that's Duval still now with possession. She passes that one off to Gray. Playing from behind the goal now is Raleigh Henry. Now Duval passes that one to Kate Peters. Kate Peters puts it through once more. And now Kate Peters starting to get rolling for Highland Park. It is a 9-1 lead now, not even midway through the second quarter. So Highland Park just dominating this one offensively, defensively, from front to back. They have their handprints all over this one. They do it again very quickly here. Not even 30 seconds had passed by before they put that ball back in. Whistle's blown. That one trips around near our side. Still going. See who has possession. They'll call that Ursuline ball. Now Ursuline finally going to have an opportunity offensively to maybe do something. They need points in a hurry still. Still in the second quarter, but they trail big time by 8. And that one juggles around and quickly taken away. No, it looks like Ursuline still will have possession. Juggles around to the outside. They have somebody on it quickly, though. It's number 9. Brianna Preston. Passes that one back over the middle. Ursuline marching back. Whistle blown. Might be free position here for Ursuline. So here we go. Opportunity to finally get another one on the board for the first time in the second quarter. Kate Peters jumps a little too soon. A little too much pep in the step, and whistle blown. This time she's able to pass that one a little high. Looks like Ursuline will still have possession here. We are officially over midway through the second quarter of play here. As they pass that one back to Preston. Preston trying to swing around. She's met by 2 defenders, dribbles around. So here we go. Brianna Preston now with an opportunity. Whistle's blown. She marches up, trying to pull through. Takes her shot and puts it through. So Ursuline for the second time in this game. First time in the quarter. Number 9, Brianna Preston, takes the shot and puts it through. Just need a little bit of momentum rolling. And when they have the ball in their hands, they haven't been bad. The problem is Highland Park just does such a good job of making sure they retain possession, making sure even whenever they lose possession, they quickly get it back in their favor. I think time of possession has been such a huge key for Highland Park, not just in this game, but in their season thus far. Danza meeting in the center with Duval. Whistle's blown. That one is up. Juggles around and looks like Ursuline will get possession right back. So down by 7. And they'll call that Highland Park ball. So Kate Peters now. She's swarmed by a group of Ursuline players. Passes that one inbounds. Little high on that one. Let's see who takes advantage. It looks like Gray will have possession here for Highland Park. She does. Harper Gray passes that one off. Now Raleigh Henry swings around, passes that one over the middle to Audrey Els. Bit of a miscommunication there. Margot McKinney able to pick it up though for Highland Park. Now marches over the middle. Gray takes her shot and puts it through once more. Harper Gray is on a roll. Hayden Gray on a roll in this one. Here for 4 goals on the game now for Highland Park. Make this a 8-point lead now for Highland Park. So Hayden Gray had 3 in the first, now gets her first of the second. Dominant outing thus far for Highland Park. Bit of a crowd building up here now for Highland Park. Whistle's blown. That one flies in the air, dribbles around a little bit into the hands of Kate Peters. Peters now passes that one over the middle. That one juggling around a little bit to the outside, still going. Picked up, and now Ursuline finally has possession in their hands. Now they're going the other way. She's quickly swarmed by a sea of defenders on Highland Park side. They still have possession, however. Now marching the other way. For them, they don't need to look at that scoreboard. They just need to try to get points in a hurry here, regardless if it's the second quarter or not, and they look like they want to do that. She's met by a swarm of defenders on Highland Park side again. Number 17 now for Ursuline, Caroline Moore. Ball in her hands. See what Moore decides to do with it. She decides to pass that one over the middle. Still marching the other way. Decides to pass it back. Now playing from behind the goal. Tight defense right here by Highland Park. They pass that one. Highland Park quickly takes possession of that one. Coming the other way now. Nice job by Kate Peters. Easily taking possession of that one right back. Passes that one over the middle to Raleigh Henry. That one dropped. They will still call that Highland Park ball. Now Raleigh Henry, opportunity to make this a 11-2 game. Let's see if she takes her shot. She does and puts it through. Nice shot right there by Raleigh Henry. Make this in a 11-2 game.
Raleigh Henry.
I believe that's her 3rd of the game. I know it's not her first. She's had multiple shots in this game. Does a really good job. 4th of the game, just corrected. Her 4th make of the game. Nice job right there by Raleigh Henry. Raleigh Henry and Hayden Gray, both now 4 goals on this game. Both of them have been so dominant for their respective sides. And now with about 2.5 minutes remaining before we hit the half. Have an 11-2 ball game here as the whistle's blown. That one flies into the air easily. Ooh, Kate Peters looks like she had possession of it. Couldn't get a hang of it, though, and now Ursuline takes advantage. Passes that one a little high. Looks like Lucy Bird will be closest. She will have possession here. So now she's coming the other way. She spins around. Passes that one to Raleigh Henry. Henry puts that one into the hands of number 7, Hayden Gray. Passes that one over the middle, looking for Margot McKinney. A little bit of a miscommunication. She does a good job of getting it back, though. So even when there's a bit of miscommunication, just like that one, they do a good job of getting it back, just like they did again. That time it was Kate Peters on a nice recovery. Peters passes that one over to Gray. Els, nice block right there by the goalie of Ursuline. Looks like Duval wanted the shot right there. Ursuline's goalie does a nice job of not making sure this one turns into a double-digit deficit. She's hanging on to that one for a little bit. Decides to toss it deep downfield. Ooh, juggling out of bounds. See who has possession. Ursuline. Ooh, looks like Ursuline had a hand on it for a second. Now they officially do. Yep, and they will call that Ursuline ball. Let's see if Ursuline can get on the board here now. Under a minute remaining in the second quarter. Ball in the hands of number 6, Harper Bursch. She passes that one back to number 5, Gianna Gilliman. Still juggled around a little bit. Under 40 seconds remaining here. I think they should hang on to it just a little longer, knowing how Highland Park likes to play this in the final quarter. They pass that one back, and if you're Highland Park, just play some heavy defense right here. Don't allow them to get any kind of momentum headed into the half, because that one gets juggled around a little bit. Clock still rolling. Throws up the X, so the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining here before half. So here we go. Ursuline trying to get another point before half. They've had a really rocky start so far in the first half, but they would love to get one more here before the half ends. They decide to pass that one back over the middle. Swings around, whistle blown before. X is thrown up once more, so at 13 seconds we will stop play again. So here we go. Number 3, Anna Deli Danza. Going to have an opportunity. She already has 1 goal to her name this afternoon. See if she can make it 2. She marches upfield. Not before the whistle is blown once more. X thrown up again. Third time the clock has been stopped now. 9 seconds remaining here. And you stop that clock as much as possible here. Ursuline wants to get on the board one more time before half. Whistle's blown. She marches up again. Let's see if she takes her shot. That one hits over the top. It's still juggling around. Clock ticking now 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They're just going to have to fling that one if they really want it. And that is how the first half will end. So Highland Park with a very dominant first half lead thus far. They hold an 11-2 lead over Ursuline. And we'll come right back for another half of play here on Game On Sports Network. We'll be right back just a few short moments.
What's up, Mix Cox Jr. for youth players. Stats for the second quarter itself. For the Scots, Raleigh Henry had 3 goals. Aiden Gray had 1 goal. Kate Peters had 2 goals. Mills Duvall had an assist. And Margot McKinney had an assist. And Peters had 1 clank off the post. For Ursuline, their goal in the second quarter was scored by number 9, Brianna Preston. For the first half, Henry had 4 goals and 1 assist. Mills Duvall had 1 goal and 1 assist. Aiden Gray had 4 goals. Kate Peters had 2 goals. Margaret McKinney had an assist. And for the first half for Ursuline, and Billy Dennis had a goal, and again, Brianna Preston had a goal.
And we are back on the Game On Sports Network with just under a minute remaining before we come back from half. Highland Park Girls Lacrosse has a very dominant lead here, 11-2 over Ursuline Bears. Thank you for joining us here today on Game On Sports Network. My name is Isaac Estrada. I have the opportunity to be your play-by-play and color man for tonight. I am joined by Cookie Hawkins, our camera operator here on Game On Sports, and we have one more half of play to bring you. Looks like it should be a breeze for Highland Park, but never say never. Highland Park has done a really good job thus far of getting the ball in their favor, just retaining possession, maintaining control of the game offensively, really. Like even when Ursuline has had the ball in their hands, Highland Park quickly takes it away, turns this game into theirs offensively and defensively. This halftime is officially over. And the young ladies on both these sidelines beginning to hit the field once more for one more half of play.
Both the Highland Park boys, gold and blue teams, and playing Austin Westlake.
If you're Ursuline, even if that scoreboard says 20-0, you got to come out here, play heartfelt ball, play like you're right back into it. It's the way these fans want to see. It's the way everyone at home wants to see. The way these Highland Park fans want to see. Even Highland Park has quite a little group of people growing here. Fans, I don't know why I couldn't say that, but fans growing here. Good amount of support here this afternoon for the Highland Park girls lacrosse team as Duval and Anna Dyla Danza meet back in the center again to start us off for one more half of ball here on Game On Sports. Thank you for joining us. One more half of play starts now as the whistle blows up, and that is quickly, ooh, bit of miscommunication. Let's see who has possession here. That one juggles around. And they will give that one to Ursuline. So Ursuline come the other way now, and they are quickly met by a swarm of Highland Park defenders. That one juggles in the air, still rocking. Ursuline will still have possession here. So here we go, marching up now. That one rolls free. They'll still call that Ursuline ball. Ball in the hands of number 22, Margot Lynch. She works her way around midfield. She's still rolling. And Lynch back in the field of play. She's still marching down now inside the 20. Works her way back. Passes it back over the middle. Into the hands of number 3, Anna Dyla Danza. And like I said, if you're Ursuline right here, you got to play like you're right back in this one, because that's what you want to play like. It's what your coach wants you to play like. It's what everyone wants you to play like, as that one bounces around in Highland Park. Looks like they had possession for just a moment. They'll still call this Ursuline ball. Just about a minute and a half has scratched off the quarter here in the third. Ball still in the hands of Ursuline. Marching the other way now is number 9, Brianna Preston. She swings around, tries to take her shot. Instead, a whistle is blown. Whole lot of contact on that play. So Brianna Preston now will have an opportunity. She already has 1 goal to her name. See if she can make it 2 on the day in the 3rd overall for the Ursuline Bears. Whistle's blown. She marches up, takes it up. Swings around, quickly met by a handful of Highland Park defenders. Tightly guarded. Whistle blown once more. Passes that one into the hands of Danza. Danza now marches around. Moves it over the middle now into the hands of number 2, Olivia Tomaselli. Whistle blown once more. Ursuline has had ball for a little over a minute and a half now. It looks like every single time they march close to that goal, Highland Park's defense really tightens up. See it again here, as Olivia is going to have an opportunity. She decides to pass that one back. Swinging it around. That one gets juggled free. They will still call that Ursuline ball, I believe. They will. So here we go. Whistle's blown. We are back in play. Tossed over the middle. A little too much pep on that one. It's going to roll around, and I believe Highland Park will get possession back. They will. So missed opportunity right there by Ursuline. Highland Park does a good job of taking advantage, though, as they swing that one back and around. Nice move right there by Lucy Bard. They pass that one over the middle into the hands of number 81, Margot Brown. Margot Brown now marches her way to the 20, passes that one over the middle. Into the hands of the hot hand, Hayden Gray. She has 4 goals to her name thus far. Now back in the hands of Raleigh Henry. Is Raleigh Henry going to take that shot? She will. A little too much pep on it. It's going to roll out. Highland Park will still have possession here, however.
Shot by Henry, back up by Gray.
4 minutes scratched off the quarter here now in the third. They pass that one back to Raleigh Henry. Henry now into the hands of Duval. Duval marches around now. Swinging it. See where she wants to put this. Decides to pass that one back to Kate Peters. Kate Peters now passes that one back to Duval. Duval, oh, a little too hot on that one as well. reaches out of bounds. Highland Park will retain possession.
High heat by Millsy Ball.
This is what we talked about earlier. Even whenever Highland Park makes these mistakes, they're always in possession. They're always in position to get the ball right back into their hands. Feels like it's already been 2 or 3 misses. Highland Park has done a good job getting the ball back regardless. Raleigh Henry marches through, decides to take a step back. Said they were a little too close to the face area on that one. I believe Raleigh Henry going to have a free position here. So here we go. Raleigh Henry scoops this one up. Possibly make this a 10-point lead for Highland Park. Whistle's blown. She marches up, takes her shot. Ooh, little over the top. Highland Park will still retain possession. They do such a good job at that.
Hayden
Gray gets that one back into the field of play. Now Audrey Els with the ball in her hands. Kate Peters now has been the facilitator offensively for this team all season long as the referee blows his whistle. So here we go. Kate Peters now, the ball in her hands. Halfway through this third quarter play, this third quarter has ran by in a shimmy. Kate Peters decides she's going to take a step back, passes that one over the middle to Margot McKinney. Margot McKinney now marching through, over and around the center, gets met by a handful of Ursuline defenders. Whistle blown up once more.
Free position for Margot McKinney.
So Margot McKinney now with free position. Can she make this a 10-point lead for Highland Park? Whistle's blown. She takes it up, dribbles it around. Nice block right there by Ursuline's goalie. And the second time is the charm for Margot McKinney. So Margot McKinney puts it through. Ursuline's goalie with a nice block, but a nice recovery. Scoop and score again.
Number 1, Margot McKinney.
And you see on drives like that, Highland Park, they had missed about 5 or 6 times, but every single time they get the ball back and they're able to make these second chance opportunities. And even on the miss, that was a nice block right there by Ursuline's goalie, but it bounced off real quickly. Margot McKinney scoop and score. Nice play right there. So we are 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play as Duvals and Adili Danza meet back in the center here at beautiful Highlander Stadium. Whistle's blown. That one juggles around and still going. See who has possession, still walking it around. Kate Peters now, ball in her hands. Passes that one back over the middle to number 2, Harper Gray. She's been a little quiet today offensively, but when you're leading 12-2, I'm sure she doesn't mind too much. Ms. Duvals now. Marches over center, takes her shot. Nope, it says she's going to pass that one to Raleigh Henry. Not before the whistle is blown and the X is thrown up. So here we go. Raleigh Henry going to have an opportunity now. She took a bit of a bump. She's going to have an opportunity to make this an 11-point lead here for Highland Park. Whistle's blown. She marches up, spins around, takes her shot. Nice block right there by Ursuline's goalie. Number 33, Zoe Rivera with a nice block. She gets it back into her hands. Decides to pass that one over the middle. Oh, nice steal right there by Raleigh Henry. Still juggles around. They get possession back. Harper Gray still playing with the hot hand as she puts that one through. Hayden Gray, with her 5th goal of the game.
Number 5 for the night by Hayden Gray.
Hayden Gray, 5 goals now on the afternoon. I believe that was Raleigh Henry. Zoe Rivera tried to get that out of her own goal. Raleigh Henry stole it, had a nice pass to Hayden Gray to put that through and make this a 13-2 lead for Highland Park. What a dominant outing for Highland Park thus far. Haven't allowed any points here in the third. Went most of that second quarter without allowing a point, and in the first, they didn't allow a point till the last 30 seconds, I believe. So Duval and Adili Danza meeting in the center. Whistle's blown. That one is tossed up, juggled around a little bit. And Ursuline will have possession now. So marching through, see if they can take their shot. Hard fall right there by number 19, Allison Lamont. Gets up nicely though. So here we go. Number 19, Allison Lamont, gonna have an opportunity to get Ursuline on the board for the first time this afternoon in the third. Marches up, takes her shot. She does and puts it through. Nice shot right there by Allison Lamont. Gets Ursuline on the board for the first time here in the third quarter. And that was a much needed goal. Highland Park went on a bit of a hot streak right there, scoring back to back to back to back, and Ursuline does a nice job of getting the ball back in the goal. So your clock still rolling, just about a minute and 30 seconds remaining here before we hit the last quarter of play. Highland Park has had their fingerprints all over this game thus far. Duval, Danza. Whistle blown, that one gets tossed in the air. Juggles around a little bit, still rolling. Oh, and a hard hit right there. And a Dealey Danza takes a hard hit right there. Unintentional hit by Mills Duval. She's going to take a quick break on the sideline.
Yellow card assigned to the Scots.
Yeah. Yellow card was assigned. That was definitely unintentional, though. Danza now gets up nicely, and she will have possession here for the Ursuline Bears. Tightly guarded by two different defenders for Highland Park. She passes that one back over the middle. Ooh, a little too much heat on that one. Looks like it's still going to be picked up by Ursuline. It will be. Raleigh Henry quick behind her. Tripped up, but they still will keep it rolling. Number 7, Olivia Phillips, with the ball in her hands. She's still rolling as she passes that one a little too high. Looks like it might be stolen. Ursuline does a good job of getting that one back. Passes that one over the top. Nice job right there, still rolling around. And now Gray takes advantage. Number 2, Harper Gray, now with the ball in her hands. Last 20 seconds of this contest. That one rolls out. The clock is still rolling. Just 10 seconds remaining in this one. Ball's picked up with just 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. She passes that one over to the hot hand hitting Gray. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's stolen by Ursuline at the last second, and that is how your third quarter will end. So, 12 minutes remaining here in this contest. We will bring it right back to you for the fourth quarter of play. Thank you for joining us in Game On Sports. We'll be back in just a quick moment.
In the third quarter, Hayden Braceler goal for the Scots, as did Margot McKenzie. And Ursuline goal came from Allison Lamont.
And we are back for one more quarter of play in this lopsided affair. Highland Park leads the Ursuline Bears 13-3 headed into the fourth quarter. Highland Park has really done a good job all around maintaining possession. Even on their misses, they're able to get possession back and score. We saw in that last quarter, nice block by Ursuline's goalie, but just as quickly as she made that block, Margot McKinney scoops it up and puts it back through, and that's what Highland Park has thrived at so much this afternoon. And now Highland Park breaks out and begins to hit the field for one more quarter of play. And I would say they'd put it in cruise control for the rest of this game, but we know how they like to play regardless of the score. They're still going to come hot and heavy in the fourth quarter. Looks like Kate Peters to meet in the center now for Highland Park. She's going to be met by number 3, Anna Daly Danza.
Kate Peters taking draw for the Scots. There's Anna Daly Danza. Ursuline.
Whistle's blown. That one flies into the air. Oh, and that's nicely picked up right there by number 4, Kate Peters. Kate Peters marching the other way now. Decides she wants to pass that one back. A little bit of miscommunication there. See who gets possession. Ursuline now takes advantage of that miscommunication. They have possession. She's tightly guarded by number 20, Riley Henry. Not before they pass that back to their goalie. Goalie trying to get that one as far away as possible, and they do. Not before Kate Peters scoops that one back up, rolls out of bounds. They will call that Highland Park ball, however. And that's passed to number 20, Riley Henry. Riley Henry passes that one a little too high. It's going to roll out, but they will still have possession. Intended for Audrey Ells right there. Or no, they'll say Ursuline has possession. So Ursuline with possession now. She's tightly guarded, decides to pass that one back over the middle into the hands of number 9, Brianna Preston. Preston guarded very tightly by 2 Highland Park defenders. She marches that one back near enemy territory now. Little too high on that pass right there. Quickly scooped up, though, by number 85, Lucy Bard, Highland Park. Now Lucy coming her other way now. She's guarded tightly by 2 Ursuline defenders. Oh, that one gets knocked free, whistle blown. About 2 minutes has been scratched off of this fourth quarter thus far. Whistle blown, so we are back in the field of play. It's Bard looking for someone to put that one. She launches it downfield. That's taken in possession by Audrey Ells. Now pass back to Raleigh Henry. Henry decides to pass that one to Margot McKinney. She is quickly met by 2 defenders of Ursuline. She takes a bit of a slip, and Ursuline takes advantage of that. Whistle blown. Ursuline will still have possession. Number 2, Olivia Tomaselli. Tie her shoes real quick, pick this ball up, resume play. 9 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Tomaselli marching back the other way. Oh, that one gets jarred free. Olivia Tomaselli now coming the other way. She's met quickly and hard by Mills Duval. She will still have possession. She is met by 3 Highland Park defenders. She's going to be able to get that one inbounds. That one gets stripped free, and it's quickly picked up by number 4, Kate Peters. Kate Peters takes her shot and puts it through. Nice shot right there by Kate Peters. Her second of the day. Make this a 14-3 lead now.
This is Scott's goal by number 4, Kate Peters.
Just 7.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Thank you for joining us this afternoon on Game On Sports Network. Peters for Highland Park and number 19, Allison Lamont. Meeting in the center. Whistle's blown. That one flies into the air. Juggled around. Kate Peters does a nice job getting possession easily back now. Passes that one to Raleigh Henry. Henry tightly guarded. Passes that one. It gets juggled around to Harper Gray. Passes that one, it gets juggled around, and let's see who has possession here. They'll call that Ursuline ball. Ursuline goalie Zoe Rivera trying to get that one out of her own goal. She's tightly guarded by Raleigh Henry. So she is going to fling that one, and that's nicely caught right there by Allison Lamont. And now Lamont now marching downfield. Passes that one. Oh, nicely stolen right there by number 4, Kate Peters. Kate Peters now marching the other way. Low, but still handled right there by Raleigh Henry. Over midway through your last quarter of play. Ooh, that one gets juggled free once more. Marching the other way now, takes her shot. Nice block right there by the goalie for Ursuline. Under 5 minutes remaining here in your fourth quarter of play. Highland Park in dominant commanding position here. Ooh, that one looks like it's taken away. It is by Kate Peters. Nice job by Highland Park, just making sure Ursuline doesn't have possession for majority of this contest. Raleigh Henry takes her shot. It's going to walk out of bounds, but they will still have possession.
Shot by Raleigh Henry, back up by Hayden Gray.
Clock's still rolling now. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Marching their way around, takes it over the middle. Raleigh Henry, oh, nice block right there again. Handful of nice blocks here in the fourth by Zoe Rivera. And Ursuline will have possession now. X is thrown up. Play will stop. Duval checks out of this one.
Yellow card sign for the Scots.
believe Duval caught a yellow card on that one. And number 2, Olivia Tomaselli checks in now for Ursuline. Play is resumed. They pass that one back over the middle of number 14, Gabriella Herbert. Herbert now. A little low on that one. Nice job right there by Highland Park, taking possession back. Now Henry playing from behind the goal. Just 3 minutes remaining in this contest. Passes that one over the middle. Looks like they just want to play keep away here. Raleigh Henry still going to bounce that one outside. Really, just from start to finish in this contest, Highland Park was amazing all around. That first quarter alone, they put 5 on the board. Didn't allow a point from Ursuline until the last 30 seconds. Kept that momentum swinging throughout the entire game. Now with just 2 minutes left, they sit very tall with their heads very high, 14-3 game. This clock continues to wind down now, reaching around 1 minute and 30 seconds. We thank you for joining us here today on Game On Sports. Saw Highland Park take a very dominant, commanding lead here throughout the game. Believes there's a timeout on play with just 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining.
Timeout by Ursuline.
Ursuline takes the timeout with just 1 minute and 19. We'll keep it with you. Just should be a quick timeout. Resume this minute and 23. Not sure what they're going to talk about. They would love to get one more on the board regardless, though. Ursuline breaks out of that quick timeout.
Reminder that this coming Monday night, the Scots boys team will be playing here at Highland against Curtis High School of Washington State.
And don't forget, after this game, we still have one more to come. JV game.
And be sure to stick around for the JV game after the varsity game here.
These young ladies from both sides begin to hit the field once more. So we resume play here, just 1 minute and 20 remaining in the fourth quarter. So she's met by a swarm of Highland Park defenders. Now just under 1 minute remaining in this one as this clock winds down. What a great game it was for Highland Park. Dominant, commanding lead throughout the entire contest. Talked about it earlier. Their ability to just, despite the misses, just get possession back and try again up until they can make it happen. Really would allow them to take the dominant win here. Hayden Gray had a really nice game. 5 goals to her name in this contest. She's the MVP of this contest from start to finish. Saw Raleigh Henry, Margot McKinney, Kate Peters, all get a handful of goals in their name as well. And as this clock begins to hit towards the big 0, as it does, we thank you for joining us.
And then the varsity game, Scott 14, Ursuline Bears 3.
game, but thank you for joining us for the varsity game of the Highland Park Girls Lacrosse versus Ursuline Bears. Highland Park dominant 14-3 win over Ursuline. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Isaac Estrada. I had the opportunity to be your play-by-play and color man. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Cookie Hawkins, for this contest. Thank you for joining us. Game on Sports. Good night and God bless.
Varsity at 6 o'clock, JV at 7:30. Wrapping up stats of the game, Raleigh Henry had 4 goals and 1 assist. Mills Duval had 1 goal, 1 assist. Hayden Gray had 5 goals. Kate Peters had 3 goals. Margaret McKinney had 1 goal, 1 assist. For Ursuline, Amelia Danza had 1 goal. Brianna Preston had 1 goal. Allison Long had 1 goal.